Balenciaga's on my feet, stay in.
Oh boy, fresh.
I got these pointers, neck and wrist, stay in.
Oh boy, fresh.
I'm always fresher than the rest, stay in.
Oh boy, fresh.
Since 96, I'm in this game, stay in.
Oh boy, fresh.
Balenciaga's on my feet, stay in.
Oh boy, fresh.
I got these pointers, neck and wrist, stay in.
Oh boy, fresh.
I'm always fresher than the rest, stay in.
Oh boy, fresh.
Since 96, I'm in.
Welcome to another episode of No Cap Reacts. I'm your man Bailey, aka Mr. Go Get 'em, and we back with another episode. I know. Been gone for a minute. A little busy life. Busy life. Got a lot of things that come up, go on. I'm in grind mode right now. Outside, like, YouTube is this much of my income. I have some things that I'm working on, and it requires hours, work, lots of hours. I'm the type of person that sets a goal. Once I set the goal, I got to go get it. And that's been my new thing. Plus, my birthday was here, so, you know, I took some me time. But you can look forward to, these videos are going to start happening a little bit more often. We're working on it. As you can see, I changed my camera angle. I'm also moving here soon. So once I make my next move, it should be the last one for a minute. And, you know, it'll change the way things are going right now. Look at that. Go to the dentist and then go ahead and get you some Smile. Smile Direct Club. No, this is not sponsored, but that is what is responsible for these pearly whites. Every time I go to the dentist, I take my ass. Well, I get that off of Amazon, and I do it. So, just to let you guys know, I am pretty much ready to hit the road. With this particular camera, this will be my out and about hit the streets camera. So I got a little credit card light. It is called the LumiCube. And this will allow me to hit the streets and make y'all some bangers, public interviews. It's that time of year, as y'all can see, I'm already hooded up, ready to go. But yeah, I just been living at the end of the day. I've been living, taking care of myself, making sure that everything is in place. But today we're gonna go ahead and do this video. This video is gonna be from the Fresh and Fit podcast. It's called Chicks Don't Realize Their Role in Society. I know you guys been seeing my lives, and a lot of my lives have to do with like relationships and men betterment and things such as that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, I'm a man. And I see that our current generation and the generation that is behind me not doing so well. So if I can help spread the, anything to kind of get them in line and get them to where they need to be, guess what? I'm going to do it. I have a public platform that people seem to pay attention to, whether it's my Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. Guess what? I am going to use my platform in a positive manner. Okay? I don't care about being out here trying to show off and shine and do all of that BS. My job as a man is to help other men become as successful as they can possibly be, by any means necessary. So, chicks don't realize their role in society. This is a podcast I watch on a regular basis called Fresh and Fit. It is actually amazing. It is about also men's betterment, helping people get, their finances straight, dating, just ways of making yourself into a top tier man. Beautiful podcast. A lot of women initially don't like it, but if you actually take the time to watch it, then it's amazing. They end up loving it. But they speak the truth. This is a snippet of another one that I watched. Let's get into it. Let's go.
And we don't want hoes. And as a man, we don't want hoes. And it's been that way since the beginning of time.
But understand that although women were more traditional, sure, they just kept it hidden a lot better. But you can't act like, oh, they're so different now. All y'all hoes. When it's like in reality, they were hoes too. But it's like now it's just more.
No, not to the degree today. We literally have women running around my wet ass pussy.
Yeah, but
you realize 40 years ago that would be completely unacceptable?
But men have been rapping about their dicks for like 60 years. I listen to that stuff. I grew up on the trap.
Male promiscuity and female promiscuity are not the same.
The only difference between male promiscuity and female promiscuity is that now female promiscuity is a little bit more acceptable, like outside. Before, a woman talking about that, like when Foxy Brown was out, all of that other stuff, that stuff wasn't as relevant. It wasn't like as acceptable. Like people had to pave the way for that. So now that the way is paved,
but it's not acceptable for a reason.
About it.
But here's the thing: it's not acceptable for a reason.
Yeah.
Because female promiscuity has dire consequences.
And do you understand why a lot of female rappers don't let their kids listen to that music because they're not supposed to?
So that proves my point even further.
Exactly.
What's the argument here? What's the argument here?
Yeah, you're agreeing with him.
I'm
No, but I'm agreeing on the part that like, okay, all I'm saying is that you were like, oh, it's social, we should be equal, etc., etc. And you're like,
no, I said that's what society says.
That's what society
but it's
says,
incorrect.
Right? But as a man and a woman, like a woman's gonna play a woman's role, a man's gonna play a man's role, and everybody likes what they like. So the world.
But a woman's role, whether women want to accept it or not, is to not be promiscuous if they want to land a man.
That's true. You're right.
Long term.
That's true.
So what's the argument?
That's true. Okay, then we came to an agreement.
So one thing that I noticed on this podcast and even in real life, even my posts on Facebook, people love to argue, but unfortunately their arguments really they really aren't saying anything. Like it's not an actual argument. You're arguing for the sake of arguing, but you have no point to make. At the end of the day, there's two things that I've posted on a regular basis, which is a man wants a woman without a past, and a woman wants a man with a future. Okay? Men typically don't wife women with high body counts. Men don't typically wife women that are loose. It just doesn't happen. We've always been like that. Men, we know who we are and what we do and so forth and so on, but we have never chosen to be with a woman that we know everybody's been with. Whereas it's the total opposite for men. Women, you guys flock to men that get around. Y'all love the hoes. And it's just the nature of the beast. It's literally never going to change because it is in our DNA. It is a DNA fact. And then I always say, the other thing that I say is women control the access to sex and men control the access to relationships and marriage. And it's just fact. Women don't ask men to marry them. Men ask women to marry. If we were on, if it's our wedding day and we're literally right there, hand in hand, at our wedding, and I find out that you slept with the entire football team in one night, or even if it was overtime, guess what? I'm done with you. I'm not keeping you. Wedding's off. But if as a woman you find out that your man has been with the entire cheer squad, you're not gonna care. Like at the end of the day, you're not gonna care. So the way we are, our sexuality is totally different. So the whole act and the whole thing of how we need to be equal all the time, it just doesn't line up. It doesn't add up. It's like the women that scream they're independent, but then they also tell you that you have to take them out on a date. Cool. We're going to go on a date, but I'm not going to pay for you. You're independent. All of a sudden, they're no longer interested. Where did the independence go? You know, you were so gung-ho of proving how independent you were until it was time for you to pay for some shit. In relationships, no matter what it is, there's a reason why it there's a reason why we know that if you go to a married couple, she has his wallet. It's literally what's mine is yours and what's yours is yours. That's the way it has always worked out. A woman controls her money and keeps her money while he does, which is why men have never cared about what women make, which is why we don't care about how independent you are, because what you bring to the table, we're not getting any of that. But what I bring to the table, you're getting all of that. It's just facts. It's been like that since the beginning of time, and that's not going to change. If it's going to change, cool, then we do 50-50. So half of your check is mine now too. So what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. In a monetary fashion, because it's never been that way. We're not talking about the home and the kids and all that. Monetary. But let's continue.
There's no
Yo,
we came to the agreement.
that took like, bro. I lost brain cells trying to figure out what the argument was, bro.
So,
Oh my god, bro.
the mental gymnastics.
Yo,
bro.
What's the point of that? Okay, moving on.
Full sarcasm.
Goddamn.
Full sarcasm.
You got a point, right? You got a point. Oh shit, she don't want to say it now.
Yeah, you had your hand up the whole time.
I'm the whole time?
Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
had to put it down.
No, why?
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
say
Speak
it.
your mind.
It's because we don't want the viewers being interrupted. That's why. Because I'm talking to her. So
I'm trying to
Say
figure
your
out
piece.
why is it so opposite for men and women? Why, because a lot of time nowadays when you speak to a man, they talk about like, oh no, we want to be 50-50 and that's how it is nowadays and stuff like that. So why is it 50-50 financially and stuff, but it's not 50-50 the other way around?
well,
I can tell you,
date some bitch ass niggas. I don't know what to tell
with
you.
broke
Yeah.
niggas, that's what else we're dealing with. 100%.
So I've always dealt with broke niggas?
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
All right.
If a nigga's gonna be asking for 50-50, it's
Yeah.
because he ain't got it like that. And he
Exactly.
want to keep you, but he can't.
And facts, if you as a woman are dealing with a man and your man is requesting 50-50, 9 times out of 10, that's because he doesn't have it. So yes, he is a broke man. What you guys would consider an average man. An average man makes about $45,000 a year. That is an average man. I don't care how you sway it. That is an average earning of the average human being in the United States of America. So yeah, he gonna request 50-50 because he can't pay for all the shit. He can't pay your bills, his bills, and for the home. $40,000 a year is gonna get you about $180,000 house. If you're going off of him alone. But that debt to income ratio is probably gonna be very high. So it's gonna make it really hard.
That's what I was even gonna say, because I was even looking at her female calculator. I was like, damn, like for me, $40,000 a year has been the norm with a man.
That's fine. That's an average guy. There's nothing wrong with
But
that.
that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like, all right, like, so let's say a woman accepts that from a man. Hey, you make 40K a year. Hey, you're this type of man. But
Nothing wrong
let's
with
say, for example, with her and her past or whatever, he's gonna be like, oh no, but you did this wrong or you did that wrong. But let's say that man did the same thing. Let's say that man was also a promiscuous man and he was out there, whatever. But she should accept
By the way, fair use, fair use. Let's get some fair use on this video.
him because he was a man and it's acceptable.
Well, don't forget, right? That like,
Gigi,
you
chill
doing
out.
that, him doing that are two different things. Because if he does it, right, he doesn't get pregnant. You do. Also, as well, think about this: if there's a girl in Hialeah that's known as the hoe, ain't nobody gonna wife her up. They're gonna
I
smash
understand
her.
that.
So it's just society has a different standard for men and women. And the reality is, if you really want this guy, you want to be as I want to say pure as possible, because that's why he's gonna choose you. Because there's many other girls, but he's not going for a hoe. He's going for a pure girl.
I completely understand you. Sometimes it just doesn't matter how pure you are.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? You're saying, why does it matter a woman's body count versus a guy's, but you have five body counts, so you know deep down in the back of your brain that your value is tied to some degree from
Well,
your
that's because
sexual
I'm
partner.
terrified just because I've lived a different lifestyle.
Yeah, but subconsciously you know that your value as a woman is directly tied to your past sexual encounters to some degree. That's why women are very reluctant to tell their body count, and that's why they're reluctant to have a high body count, and if they do, they don't disclose it. It's because women know their value is intrinsically tied to their sexual past.
JJ, chill out. What are you doing?
I hate to say it like that, but that's what it is.
You're right. If you say so.
Okay.
I mean, that's
It's just a
Because at the end of the day, that's how you
It's
act.
not, but no. That is a fact. Men want a woman that does not have a crazy sexual past. And you prove my point yourself by saying I only have a 5 body count. Why weren't you running around fucking and sucking guys when you wanted
Because
to?
I was married for 17 years.
No. But you even admitted yourself earlier that you went on first dates with guys and you didn't have sex with them, and then you attributed it to your morals.
Yeah,
Where
morals.
do those
I
morals
have
stem
my
from?
own morals. That doesn't mean I'm gonna judge someone else.
Okay, let's peel it back a layer. We're gonna go all the way. Where does that moral come from?
My upbringing.
Okay, where does your upbringing come from?
My mom, my grandma.
Okay, where does your mom's thought process come from that?
From her upbringing.
Okay, is it fair to say maybe religion?
Not really.
Catholic?
No.
Okay, so it could be just from evolution that women understand that being promiscuous can have serious consequences and they don't want you to run around and have sex with the wrong guy, get pregnant by the wrong guy, and then carry a child of a person that's a fucking loser and then end up being a bastard child.
No, I understand that. I just
See how deep it goes?
No, I get you
Because
completely.
you're seeing it at the surface level, like a lot of modern women do. Like, I can't have my fun. That's bullshit. Why can you run around and fuck the girls, but I can't run around and fuck guys? I'm not saying you can't fuck guys. Go and do your thing, baby girl. But what I'm saying is that there's consequences for female promiscuity, and those consequences are not the same for men. If I run around and fuck a bunch of girls, I'm going to be attractive, whether women want to accept it or not. To a large majority of women.
He's gonna look attractive to the women that are pleading for pussy, that want to give their pussy
I
up to
can
a
tell you
nigga
that.
that's beating the shit up. So they go based off of, oh, he did this, and the third last night, blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go find out for myself.
That's a big
Those are
turnoff to me,
household-
honestly.
Okay, so that's a big thing. When a man sleeps around, yeah, it's a turn on for women. Why? As men, in order for us to even get to the point to get access to sex, like, we have to work for it. That means we're able to pay for multiple dates. That means that we're able to take you out. We live a certain lifestyle that you clearly pay attention to, have seen and have noticed in us as a man. We usually have a nice car, and you see, every time you see this particular man, he either has a woman or has a woman around, and that woman is usually very attractive, which makes you wonder what he's either doing. Either he has a lot of money or he has a big eggplant. And that's the way women look at it, which is why women tend to gravitate to player type dudes. It's a known fact that 10 to 20% of the men in the world are sleeping with 80 to 90% of the women. For a woman, she can just say, hey, I want to have sex, and many men are going to beat her door down. A man can say, hey, I want to have sex, and the first thing that's going to be told is you need to get to know me. You need to take me out. There's a lot of different things and aspects that go along with that. Whereas, yeah, we get turned down far more than what women do, which is what is not understood. For a woman, access to sex is easy to you. So when you sleep around, it doesn't make you look good because we know there's no work involved in it for you. Whereas in order for a man to do it, which is why most dudes look at men and are like, oh, you the man. Oh, you can get it all the time. Oh, you got this chick and that chick and that chick. We all know and understand how hard it is to actually get a woman. How hard it is to have sex with a woman. How hard it is to get access to multiple women, let alone just one. It is hard work. So, the same way it's easy for you, most women understand that it's harder for men. So when a man has access to a lot of sex or sexual partners, there is something about that man that women want, which is usually why you also want them as well. You may call that man a hoe, but at the same time, in the back of your mind, you're sitting here going, why is he a hoe? How did he become a hoe? What is he doing that these other men are not doing because he's getting a lot of women? That is the difference. You guys can call it game or whatever you want to, but whatever it is, it makes that man come in at a higher tier than the average man who can't do those things. So it's the same thing. If you go to a club and you see VIP will have 2 to 3 guys with 10 women. Why do those women flock to those tables? 9 times out of 10, it has nothing to do with what the guy looks like, but it's the fact that he has money. Okay? When men look at women, we base your worth off of honestly what you look like, your body, and your sex count. When you look at men, you look at us for monetary, our resources, same thing, how much money we make, and our size. How tall are we, right? Because tall and in shape means strength to you, which means you're going to feel protected. Money, which means it's stability. We can take care of you in life. So as we go, it doesn't matter how you break it down. The same things we were when we were cavemen and cavewomen, we have become the exact same thing because you're still going for and fighting for the exact same things. The difference is back then, the caveman had to go out and kill his meat, whereas now you need to make sure you have a man that has the money for you to go to the grocery store to buy that meat. At the end of the day, it is the exact same thing. He needed to protect you from other cavemen and the animals that wanted to kill you, whereas now he has to protect you from the other cavemen and still the animals that want to kill you. Safety, security, stability. It's all the same. And we as men, we want younger, beautiful, nice-bodied women because at the end of the day, we look at you for procreation, sex. It takes sex to procreate. So we want the best vessel that we can put ourselves into. It's never going to change. That's breaking it all the way down to DNA, genetics, and something that is never going to change. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. This is another episode of No Cap Reacts. I'm your man, Bailey, a.k.a. Mr. Go Get 'Em.